Okay, get this. A small Chinese company, DeepSeek,
Yeah.
just completely flipped the AI world upside down. I mean, they built a model, DeepSeek R1.
Yeah.
And it's basically like they built a rocket ship in a garage that's like giving SpaceX a run for its money.
It has certainly shaken things up, that's for sure.
Yeah.
What I think is so fascinating about this is that DeepSeek, they're a quant trading firm,
Right.
and they've managed to get performance that's comparable to models from these giant, like your OpenAIs,
Yeah.
but at a tiny fraction of the cost.
We're talking like millions instead of hundreds of millions, right?
Exactly.
So like this deep dive is really all about us figuring out how they pulled this off, what it means for, the future of AI, and why, honestly, like why you should care about this.
Well, I think what DeepSeek has achieved, it challenges really like the foundation of how we think about developing AI.
Okay.
For years, everyone's assumed that you need these massive resources, huge data sets, sprawling infrastructure, just to even create like truly advanced AI. And DeepSeek has kind of flipped the script on that.
So like how'd they do it? Like did they find like some secret loophole in the laws of physics and computing or something?
Not quite, but their secret weapon, if you want to call it that, is really a relentless focus on efficiency.
Okay.
They have optimized, every single stage of the process.
Wow.
And one of the key innovations, I think, is their use of incredibly efficient data structures.
Okay.
So think about it. It's like they figured out how to pack a suitcase for a month-long trip to a tiny carry-on, you know what I mean? They're getting the same results with far less computational overhead.
See, now I'm starting to get why people are calling this like this David versus Goliath moment in AI.
Right.
But I mean, David didn't just show up with like a better slingshot.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
He got some serious skill too.
He did. In DeepSeek, they also achieved these massive, massive gains by meticulously fine-tuning the parameters of their model. And this is actually where I think their expertise in quantitative trading really, really comes in.
So wait, are you telling like the same techniques they use to like stock prices help them build this cutting edge AI model?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
That's kind of mind blowing.
It is. It is. And then there's the whole matter of those GPUs, right?
The GPUs, yeah.
So they cleverly repurposed GPUs that were initially intended for their trading algorithms.
Huh.
It's a brilliant example of just resourcefulness, right? They took existing hardware, optimized it for a completely different purpose, squeezed every last drop of performance out of it.
Talk about maximizing your ROI, right?
Right.
But, not everyone's buying the whole $5 million story.
Yeah.
There's a bit of skepticism out there.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Critics like Alexander Wang from Scale AI have suggested that DeepSeek might be, downplaying their resources a little bit. Given, the export bans on the most advanced GPUs, some people are speculating that, maybe they had access to more than they've let on.
So there's like a little bit of a mystery still surrounding their methods.
A little bit, yeah.
It's like they found this shortcut to like AI greatness.
Right.
And everyone's just trying to like reverse engineer it, figure out what it is.
And here's where it gets even more interesting.
Okay.
They decided to make R1 fully open source.
Whoa, really?
Yeah. So that means they released the model's code and even the weights, which allows anyone to study it, modify it, utilize it, whatever they want.
Now, okay, for those of you who like aren't super familiar with like open source, imagine if like, a Michelin star chef decided to just like share their entire recipe book for free.
Yeah.
You could recreate their signature dishes, tweak them to your liking, or even like invent something totally new based on their techniques.
Exactly.
Like that's the power of open source.
That is the power.
And in the context of AI, that's a total game changer.
It is.
Like think about what that means, right? Smaller companies, researchers, even individual developers can now access and experiment with the state-of-the-art AI model without needing these massive budgets.
Right.
Like it levels the playing field in a huge way.
It really does.
This has got to be sending shockwaves through like the entire AI industry.
It is.
Companies like, OpenAI, Meta, Microsoft, they've poured billions into their proprietary AI systems, right?
They've built these walled gardens around their technology.
Yeah.
Guarding it very closely, so DeepSeek's move, it really challenges that whole approach.
Yeah.
It raises the question, are those massive expenditures really necessary? Can you achieve similar results with a fraction of the budget through, just ingenuity and collaboration.
It's like DeepSeek just showed up at like this exclusive AI gala in like a custom-made suit that cost a fraction of everyone else's like designer duds.
Right.
And they're just like, hey, look what we did.
Exactly. And that's precisely why figures like Jan LeCun, Meta's chief AI scientist, he's singing DeepSeek's praises.
He's a big open source guy, right?
Huge advocate.
Yeah.
He sees R1 as like a testament to this power of collaborative development.
Okay.
Building upon like shared knowledge and tools.
Like PyTorch and Llama and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So what does this mean for like the future of AI though? Are we seeing this shift away from these like closed off expensive models towards like these more efficient open source solutions?
DeepSeek has definitely like thrown down the gauntlet.
Yeah.
It's a wake-up call for the industry because it's not just about the initial cost of training the model, but it's the efficiency of like, thinking time, right?
Okay.
They've shown that you can build an AI that's incredibly powerful, yet like lean and efficient in how it operates.
You're talking about like test time compute, correct?
Exactly.
How quickly and efficiently the model can like process information.
Right.
And like generate results once it's trained.
Precisely. DeepSeek R1 excels in this area. It's designed for real-world applications where like efficiency is absolutely paramount.
Okay.
And the shift toward prioritizing thinking time is a major trend we're seeing across like the entire AI landscape.
So it's not just about building a powerful brain, but it's about making sure the brain is also incredibly energy efficient.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
And,
But, whenever there's like a breakthrough this big, there are always like some conspiracy theories floating around, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So like what are people saying about DeepSeek R1?
Well, with DeepSeek R1, the rumors are, they're running wild.
Okay.
Some are suggesting that this is all part of like a Chinese state strategy.
Oh, wow.
To disrupt U.S. dominance in AI.
International intrigue.
I know.
Okay, what else? What else are people saying?
Well, there are these whispers that DeepSeek might have access to a lot more resources than they've actually disclosed.
Okay.
Maybe even some like secret government backing.
Ooh, secret government backing.
I know, right? Others believe that they've cracked some hidden code of AI efficiency that the rest of the world is just like missing.
Well, I guess that's just the nature of like groundbreaking discoveries, right?
Yeah.
Like they always spark a little bit of mystery and debate.
Always.
But even without the conspiracy theories, DeepSeek R1 is without a doubt like a game changer.
It is. And there's a bigger concept at play here. It's something known as the Jevons paradox in AI.
Okay, now you've piqued my curiosity.
Yeah.
Jevons paradox. That sounds like something straight out of like a science fiction novel.
It does.
How is that?
It might sound complex, but it's actually a pretty straightforward idea.
Okay.
The paradox states that as the cost per unit of compute decreases, like, for example, as GPUs become cheaper and more powerful, the overall usage and spending on those things actually increases.
Wait. So you're saying, like, making AI cheaper could actually lead to more spending on AI?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
How does that work?
I know, it seems counterintuitive.
Yeah.
But think about it. When something becomes more affordable, it becomes accessible to more people and more organizations, and that increased accessibility leads to more people experimenting, developing new applications, and ultimately driving up demand.
Right. A snowball effect.
Exactly.
The cheaper and more powerful AI becomes, the more people use it.
Yeah.
Fueling the need for even more powerful and efficient AI technology.
Precisely. And this paradox is especially relevant when we're talking about DeepSeek R1.
Okay.
Because it's a low training cost and impressive efficiency. It could spark this surge in AI development.
Yeah.
Pushing demand for GPUs and related infrastructure even higher.
So this, like, seemingly small company from China might have accidentally triggered, like, this chain reaction.
They might have.
That reshapes the entire AI landscape. It's like they dropped a pebble in a pond.
Yeah.
And we're just starting to see the ripple spread.
Exactly.
And remember, we're just at the beginning of this story.
We are.
The big question is, like, how will the giants of the tech world respond?
I don't know. That's the question, right?
Will they try to, like, crush the competition, embrace this new open source movement, or will they go back to the drawing board and just, like, completely rethink their strategy?
Right.
It's a fascinating time to be following AI, that's for sure.
It really is. So welcome back to our deep dive into DeepSeek R1.
Before the break, we were talking about how DeepSeek has really kind of challenged this status quo in AI.
Yeah.
I mean, they've shown that you don't necessarily need a billion-dollar budget to, like, make a major impact.
Yeah.
It's a bit like, you know how those indie game developers sometimes come up with these ideas that, like, the big studios never even thought of.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. I mean, DeepSeek's approach really goes against this whole bigger is better narrative.
Oh, right.
That has dominated the AI field for so long.
It's been like an arms race, right?
Totally.
So he's competing to build, like, the biggest models, amass the most data.
The largest data sets.
Yeah, all with this goal of, like, creating the most powerful AI.
Yeah, exactly. And that approach has led to some really remarkable advancements.
Right.
But it's also created this, like, barrier to entry for smaller players.
Yeah.
And it may have, like, inadvertently stifled innovation in a way.
Right.
DeepSeek has shown that you can achieve these groundbreaking results by focusing on efficiency and ingenuity, even with, you know, comparatively limited resources.
Imagine, like, a team of, like, these brilliant engineers working in this, like, modest lab, right?
Yeah.
Fueled by coffee and, like, late-night brainstorming sessions.
Oh, right.
And they managed to, like, outmaneuver these giants of the tech world.
Totally.
Like, an inspiring story.
It's a really inspiring story.
And their success, I mean, it raises some, like, pretty important questions for those big players, right?
It does.
Like, can they maintain their dominance by simply throwing more money and computing power at the problem?
Right.
Or will they need to adopt this, like, more agile, efficient approach?
Yeah.
Maybe even, like, embracing this whole open source movement that DeepSeek has really kind of championed.
Yeah.
I'm particularly, like, intrigued by this whole idea of repurposing these GPUs.
Yeah.
It's like they took these tools that were designed for one purpose and they just found this whole new way to use them.
Right.
Like, it makes you wonder, like, what other hidden potential is out there just waiting to be unlocked?
That's the beauty of, like, innovation, isn't it? It's about seeing things differently, challenging assumptions, finding creative solutions. Yeah. And DeepSeek's approach, it's a real testament to the power of, like, lateral thinking.
Okay, so we've talked about, like, the technical innovations and this whole David versus Goliath aspect of DeepSeek's story. But let's talk about, like, the elephant in the room. Open source. Like, this move has the potential to, like, completely reshape the AI landscape.
It absolutely does. I mean, by making R1 open source, DeepSeek has essentially democratized access to a cutting-edge AI model.
Right.
Researchers, developers, even, like, hobbyists can now, like, dive into the code, understand how it works, and build upon it.
Like, this is huge,
These are massive.
It's like giving someone the keys to, like, a high-performance sports car.
Right.
And being like, here you go, see what you can do with it.
Exactly.
Like, imagine the possibilities.
I mean, think about it. Small startups, academic researchers, even, like, individual developers could potentially leverage this technology to create these amazing new applications.
Right.
I mean, we could see an explosion of innovation in areas like healthcare, education, environmental science.
Yeah.
The possibilities are endless.
It's, like, really exciting to think about. But open source isn't, like, without its risks, is it?
Well, that's true.
There's, like, the potential for misuse.
Right.
Like, what happens if someone with, like, malicious intent gets their hands on this technology?
That's a good question.
Could R1 be used to, like, create deepfakes?
Yeah.
Or spread misinformation?
Yeah.
Or even, like, develop autonomous weapons systems?
Those are all valid concerns. And it's definitely something that the AI community needs to, like, address head on. I mean, openness and transparency are incredibly powerful tools for accelerating progress.
Right.
But they also come with responsibilities.
Yeah.
We need to be proactive in developing ethical guidelines, safety protocols, even, like, regulatory frameworks to mitigate these risks. I mean, think of it like building a really powerful engine, right? Yeah. You need safeguards in place to make sure it's used safely and responsibly.
So it's not just about making AI accessible. It's about ensuring that it's, like, used ethically and for the benefit of humanity.
Exactly. It's a delicate balance.
Yeah.
And it's a conversation that needs to involve not just, like, AI researchers and developers, but also policymakers, ethicists, society as a whole.
Yeah, like
you need to have these, like, open and honest discussions about the potential implications of this technology.
Right.
And work together to kind of shape its future.
This is a lot to think about.
It is.
DeepSeek R1 isn't just, like, a technological innovation. It's like this catalyst for a much broader conversation about the role of AI in our lives and like the values that we want to kind of embed in it. It's like a challenge, an opportunity.
It is.
And maybe even like a wake-up call.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
So, like, where do we go from here? Like, what happens next? How will these, like, established players in the AI field respond to this challenge? Will we see this shift towards, like, more open and collaborative development? Or will the industry just, like, double down on its existing approach?
It's hard to say. Only time will tell. But I mean, one thing is certain. The AI landscape has been, like, irrevocably changed.
It really has.
And that change has been sparked by a company that, until recently, I think most people outside of the world of finance, like, had never even heard of.
Right. Exactly.
It's a testament to the power of innovation and the fact that, like, these groundbreaking ideas can come from anywhere.
Yeah, so for all of you listening out there, remember, you don't need a billion-dollar budget or a fancy title to make a difference.
Exactly.
All you need is a good idea. A willingness to, like, challenge the status quo. And the passion to, like, make it happen.
Couldn't agree more.
That's a message worth spreading.
It is.
Now, before we, like, wrap up this episode, let's shift gears for a moment and talk about something else that's been, like, generating a lot of buzz in the AI world. This whole concept of test time compute.
Yes. This is a crucial aspect of AI development that often, I think, gets overshadowed by this focus on training models. We've talked about how DeepSeek R1 excels in this area. But let's delve a little deeper into what it actually means.
Okay, for those of us who aren't, like, you know, AI experts, can you break it down for us in, like, simple terms?
Of course. Think of it like this. Training an AI model, it's like teaching a student all the information they need for an exam. The training process is, like, intense, requires these vast amounts of data and computational resources. But once the student has learned the material, the focus shifts to, like, how well they can actually perform on the actual test.
So test time compute is like the student's ability to, like, recall information, apply their knowledge, and, like, solve problems under pressure.
Exactly. In the context of AI, it refers to how efficiently and effectively a model can process information and generate results once it's been trained. It's about how quickly it can, like, think and respond to new situations.
So it's not just about having this, like, vast storehouse of knowledge. It's about, like, being able to access and utilize that knowledge quickly
and effectively.
Yeah, I'm starting to see why this is so important.
And here's why it matters. In a lot of real-world applications, speed is critical. I mean, think about self-driving cars. They need to be able to process information from their sensors and make these, like, split-second decisions to avoid accidents. Or consider, like, AI-powered medical diagnosis systems. They need to be able to analyze patient data and provide accurate results as quickly as possible.
So test time compute, it's not just, like, this abstract technical concept.
It's not.
It has, like, very direct implications
Yeah.
for the safety, reliability, and, like, usability of AI in the real world.
Precisely. And DeepSeek R1's, like, focus on efficiency in this area makes it even more impressive.
Wow.
I mean, they've managed to create a model that's not only powerful, but also incredibly fast and lean in its operation.
It's like they built a race car that can not only, like, reach incredible speeds, but also, like, maintain its fuel efficiency.
Exactly.
That's, like, no small feat.
It's not. And it highlights, I think, a real shift in thinking in the AI community. We're moving beyond simply, like, pursuing these larger and more complex models. There's this growing recognition that efficiency, speed, and real-world applicability are equally important.
This whole focus on test time compute also ties into that concept of Jevons paradox, doesn't it?
It does. As AI models become more efficient and easier to deploy, we'll likely see this surge in their adoption across, you know, various industries and applications. This increased usage will in turn drive demand for even more powerful and efficient hardware, fueling this, like, cycle of innovation and advancement.
So DeepSeek's innovations, like could have this ripple effect.
They could.
Far beyond, like, the initial release of R1.
Right.
It could, like, accelerate the entire AI ecosystem.
It really could.
Leading to, like, faster progress.
Yeah.
And wider adoption of this, like, transformative technology.
Absolutely. And that's what makes this story so compelling. I mean, we're witnessing this, like, paradigm shift in AI.
Right.
And DeepSeek is right at the forefront of it.
And speaking of DeepSeek,
Yeah.
there's still a lot we don't know about this, like, kind of enigmatic company.
That's true.
I mean, they've been remarkably, like, tight-lipped about their internal operations, their motivations, their long-term goals.
Yeah, it's like they emerged from the shadows,
Yeah.
shook up the world, and then retreated back into the mystery from, like, whence they came.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's like their story's shrouded in intrigue.
It is.
And that's, like, part of what makes them so fascinating.
It's true.
Like, are they simply a group of, like, these brilliant engineers
Right.
who just stumbled upon this, like, groundbreaking discovery?
Yeah.
Or are they playing, like, a much more strategic game,
Right.
aiming to disrupt these established players and just, like, reshape the entire AI landscape?
It's the question everyone's asking.
It's a question that has, like, analysts, researchers, industry insiders, like, all scratching their heads.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But regardless of their, like, motivations, DeepSeek has undoubtedly left their mark.
They have.
They've given us, like, this glimpse into a future where AI is more accessible, more efficient, and more powerful than ever before.
And they've shown that innovation can come from the most unexpected places.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that we should never underestimate the power of, like, a small team with a bold vision and the determination to challenge the status quo.
That's a great point to ponder as we move into, like, the final part of our deep dive.
It is.
When we return, we'll explore what DeepSeek's story means for you, the listener.
Yeah.
And how you can, like, tap into the potential of this, like, whole AI revolution.
Right. And we'll also address some of the ethical considerations and potential risks associated with open source AI.
Right.
Helping you kind of navigate this exciting but, you know, complex landscape.
So stay tuned. The best is yet to come. Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We've been talking about this amazing story of DeepSeek R1, this AI model that, like, no one saw coming, and it just, like, blew up the whole AI world.
Totally. A real story about ingenuity, efficiency, and I think the power of, you know, open source.
Definitely.
But it also raises some big questions, you know, about the future of AI and what it means for, well, all of us, really.
Exactly. So far, we've been kind of looking at this from the perspective of, you know, these big tech companies and the AI research world.
Yeah.
But, like, what about you, the listener? Why should, like, anyone even care about DeepSeek R1?
Well, I think it's important to remember this isn't just some abstract thing happening in some lab somewhere.
Right.
It really has the potential to, like, impact every part of our lives.
Okay.
Imagine AI assistants, right? But way more capable than anything we have now.
Yeah.
And they run, like, right on your phone. They don't need a big data center,
Right.
you know? Or, like, education personalized to how you learn best medical diagnoses that are, like, instant and more accurate than ever. Even, like, creative tools that help you, I don't know, write a song, design a building, you know, things like that.
Those all sound pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But I got to be honest, like, there's a part of me that's, you know, I've seen those movies where the AI takes over.
Right, right. Well, I understand that concern.
Yeah.
It's good to remember technology is a tool, right?
Yeah.
It can be good, it can be bad. It really comes down to, like, who's making it and what they want to do with it.
So then how do we make sure that AI is, like, developed and used responsibly? Like, how do we do that?
I think that's where this whole open source thing with DeepSeek R1, that's where it's so important.
Okay.
Making the technology, you know, transparent, accessible. That means more people can look at it, work together on it.
More eyes on it.
Exactly, more eyes on it.
So it's like this public forum where anyone can check out the blueprints, you know, point out flaws, help make the system safer.
Right, safer for everyone, more beneficial.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that open discussion, that's what's key to building trust, right?
Right.
Making sure that when we develop AI, it's aligned with what we as a society actually want.
So DeepSeek has kind of given us, like, it's not just a new tool, it's like a shared responsibility to, like, guide its development and where it goes in the future.
Yeah, I think so. A responsibility we all share, not just the, you know, the tech people.
Okay, I'm getting the bigger picture now, but I got to say, all this is a bit overwhelming. AI is changing so fast.
I hear you. It's a lot to keep up with.
And it really is.
But you don't have to become an AI expert overnight.
Right.
Just stay curious, ask questions, be open to learning.
Yeah.
And remember, this whole thing with DeepSeek R1, it proves that big innovations, they can come from anyone, anywhere.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe the next breakthrough, it comes from someone listening to this right now.
It could be you out there.
Yeah. You could be the one who makes the next algorithm or the app that changes everything or just finds a new way to use this stuff to make things better.
So keep learning, keep exploring, and don't underestimate what you can do to shape the future.
I like that.
That's a great point to wrap up on this deep dive into DeepSeek R1. It's been eye-opening, inspiring, and a little challenging, I'll be honest.
That's how you know you're learning, right?
Exactly. It's all about, like, pushing what we understand and, like, embracing these new possibilities that are out there.
And remember, this is only the beginning, you know?
Yeah.
AI's still evolving, and we're all part of it.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So, until next time, keep diving deep, stay curious, and never stop asking questions. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.